In communication with Southern California, Channel 9 Public Affairs presents Teen Talk. Popularity, as reported by a survey at Southern Illinois University, includes such factors as 1. Being in the right crowd, 2. Coming from the right family, 3. Having the right car, 4. Getting high grades.
For the guys, it still appears to be acquired on the playing field and not in the classroom. And for the girls, it comes from being in the right clique and hanging out with the right people. We all strive to be popular in as many ways as there are people. I'm Joseph Feinstein, and today on Teen Talk, we've invited a panel of young people who all share the elusive quality of popularity. Welcome, panel. Welcome, popular panel, to Teen Talk. We all know that there are more ways to be popular than just through sports and hanging out with the right crowd. What do you think makes you popular? And let's put modesty aside for a few moments. The audience knows that you're going to be just yourselves, your true selves. Stacy, what do you think?
I think what makes me popular is the fact that I'm real and I care. I seem to have a compassion for people, and I'm willing to listen to them and help them and understand them. And I think people sense that from me.
Mm-hmm. And you're beautiful too. That's another nice quality there too. Monica, what do you think adds to that immeasurable quality of popularity for you?
I think it's basically being really optimistic, having a positive outlook. For me, it was getting involved in a lot of school activities. I didn't know anyone when I went to my high school. When I got into student council and the cheerleading, I met a lot of people, and being friendly and being positive, they got, started to know me, and I made a lot of friends, and I think that's what basically devoted to my popularity. Positive
always adds a dimension of hope and a certain kind of caring and a certain kind of attention. What about you, Kimmy?
That was basically it. When I started high school also, I didn't know anyone, and it was basically being outgoing, and getting to know people.
And how are you outgoing? How do you do that?
For me, it's just like if I was to see someone, or people,
yeah,
hi.
Well, you're seeing someone. Yeah, here's
hi,
someone.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Small talk for me.
Oh, I'm depressed. I don't know. I'm just so sad.
Why?
Oh, things are bumming me out, and I'm really, my son went away to Albuquerque last week, and he's gone, and my daughter her back is hurting her, and things are just not working out, and I'm really sad.
Have you talked to your son?
Well, I called him. That's the only way I'll get to talk to him is when I call him. But I know what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying, too. Gang, have you always been well-liked, or is this something that's relatively new in your life? Bianca, is this something?
Well, it's fluctuated through, periods, adolescence, and et cetera, in junior high school.
You're still an adolescent.
Okay.
This is teen talk,
Anyway.
You just think you're older, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it was different. I met different people and got different reactions because sometimes it doesn't seem real. Being friendly does not seem real to most people.
That's true.
And I just try to be a good listener, and whatever anyone has to say, I accept. And I might have my own opinions, etc., but I take in whatever.
That's nice. That's nice. That makes a lot of sense to me too. Psychologically speaking, it makes a lot of sense. Anthony, you do some very nice things, don't you? What have you, tell us about some of the things you've accomplished.
Well, I was 11th nationwide All-American swimming in my sophomore year.
Right.
Last year I was chosen the winner of the Army Reserve's National Essay Contest on the bicentennial of the Constitution out of 22,000 students nationwide. And that same year, I qualified to the Nationals in forensics. I might add, there's one interesting point that Stacy made, was that she's popular because of the values she represents, and that's unusual. That's a good form of popularity. Whereas there's a different kind of popularity shown in those opening remarks about the car you drive. That's an image, and it's...
Well, what I want to know, and one of the things we talked about, you told me on the phone that you're not popular. You're doing nice things, you're doing important things, and you're not popular. And what would you say is the reason that you're not popular?
Well, this might be difficult for some people to relate to, but I live in a different, or I go to school in a different environment. It's an environment in which in which awards are not necessarily congratulated, but creates a competitive environment. Now, in my school, it's always an attitude towards, will this get me into college? How will this affect me in the college transcript? And if another person wins, in my case, they see that offensive, and they take jealousy as the factor that they and then what they do is that they belittle what someone else does, don't congratulate them, so that puts them on equal terms with what that person did.
Your point is very well taken, and there are times that I have found that popular people are seen with a lot of jealousy and a lot of disdain, and they're not so happy about things happening. All these nice things you're mentioning are happening to you, and they're not happy for you. A lot of people are not happy for your success. They would, because they're jealous of that success. Have you faced any of that kind of thing, Lisa?
I haven't really had that problem because one of my main goals was in the beginning of the school year when I was in 9th grade, I didn't know anyone. I had one friend on the first day of school.
Yeah.
And gradually I went out of my way to talk to people and get to know them, ask them their name, introduce myself, and before I knew it, I was getting to know all these nice people who thought of me as a really nice and sincere person. And I never had to deal with people who looked at me with disgust. Like, well, she must be fake. She must be phony. There's just something. People always have to nitpick. They always have to find something about you. But I haven't had that problem.
When I was a kid, I enjoyed lots of popularity. I laughed when jokes were told about my weight. I told funny jokes so a lot of people would like me. I was good in the classroom and would give other students answers on tests, and people like all those things. Do you do things consciously for popularity's sake? And if so, what things do you do? Daniel, let's introduce you.
Well, when I started out at my school in 8th grade, I was really into wanting to be popular, and I was thinking, you know, well, I'll do almost anything to get popular, and I would do things like give people's answers on tests and things like that, and tell jokes about people's weight, but I found out that it didn't make me popular.
No.
It's what's in your heart that makes you popular, and your
right.
attitude.
It's attitude, it's that caring that Stacy mentioned before. Did you do things that were popular, Jeff?
When I was younger, I felt fairly insecure, and I guess I learned, you know, that it really wasn't making me popular. And I guess over the periods of my years, I've become my own person, and I really don't have to kind of show people.
What do you mean by being your own person?
I've taken on my own identity. I know what I want to accomplish.
What do you want to accomplish?
What do I want to accomplish?
Yeah.
I want to have it all.
In a half-hour show, I think you summed it up beautifully. And what is all? What is all?
I want to be successful. I want to be powerful, and you know, I want to be happy in what I do.
You want to be respected?
Definitely.
Liked?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. That's nice. That's nice. Do you guys think there's a gene for popularity? That maybe this is something that you inherit from mom or dad? Are your parents popular? Is your mom a popular lady, Kim?
Yes, she's well respected and people like her. They always have good things to say about her.
Really?
Yeah.
Does she have a nice sense of humor?
Yes. She's always doing something.
Always
funny.
doing.
Yeah.
Always doing something. Like, for instance, what?
She played a joke on her friend. Her friend was in her nightgown or whatever, and she invited all these people to come in while her friend was in a nightgown.
She's mean. Really? That's what she did?
She has the sense
Was that
of
on her
humor.
birthday for the birthday present? Or something?
It was another get back, so.
Nice. Another get back. Okay, get backs. Maybe that can make popularity. Bianca, what do your parents have a certain kind of quality about them that makes them popular?
Most kids, they want their mothers out of the house, and I live with my mother.
Yeah.
I can't find her during the week. The phone's always ringing. She's always out doing something, and on the weekends she's always going dancing with her boyfriend and everything. So she just remains to be seen.
Where is she? I'm looking. I can't seem to find her even here. We haven't seen her in 9 years. But you've been doing well. You've been growing up beautifully. When people get to see certain parts of your character that's a little bit vulnerable, the part maybe you don't want to show, does that part interfere? Do you hide that part? I mean, I know you're all pretty well liked, and I know that you're nice, but do you hide some parts of you that are vulnerable? Monica, do you hide any part of you that's vulnerable?
I don't know whether I consciously hide it, but there's certain qualities inside of me that I may not be all confident as I may appear to be, or when I'm doing a speech in front of a class, or being a student body president, doing something of that nature. I might be less confident of myself, but I just try not to show it. One of the things I just try to do is be myself, and through being involved in school activities, I can't afford to let myself worry about what everybody else thinks. I need to do my own thing and have my own self-esteem and not be worried about trying to make someone else like me, because if they should like me for who I am, not what I am, what I stand for. And I don't try to make someone like me with the things that I do. I basically do it for myself.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's really wonderful. You're saying it so well, and you're pointing up the whole idea of what self-esteem is really all about. And it's that concept of knowing yourself and liking that person which is yourself. What about for you, Stacy? Do you allow people to get really close?
Yes. I have always been very open, almost too open. Sometimes I get involved.
What does that mean, too open?
I get involved with so many people, and I want to share of myself, and I want them to know what I'm going through so that they can understand what they're going through at the same time. I was always in front of the whole school in high school, and I shared things in assemblies. I would open myself up, and I think people respect that you're brave enough to say, look, I may look okay on the outside and I'm doing okay, but on the inside I hurt too, and I'm not doing quite that.
Where did you learn that kind of thing? Who gave you the permission to get to this place that you're at? You're 18 years old?
I'm 18 years old.
18 years old. How do you get to that place at 18?
Practice. How
do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice? Yeah, right.
I have 5 brothers and sisters. My mother's very open. We've always communicated well. I grew up in the church, grew up in the youth group and doing all those fun activities.
I sense the religious aspect of it all. So I get a feeling that religion may play a wonderful part in all this.
In my case, it really did.
In what sense?
It really did. God is a big God, and I feel honored to have my God seen through me. And I think people are drawn to that somehow. God made us that way. That a little spark of Him is in us so that He can be seen through us to others.
It's beautiful.
Really, really beautiful. I love that. I love the concept of what she just said. Yeah?
In Stacy's comment, you see something interesting. She talked about the many children. When a kid's an only child, it's an entirely different issue. When he's at a younger age, he has not the people to talk to.
Are you an only child?
I'm an only child. They don't have the other people, the other brothers and sisters to talk to as much. And then when they go out into the outside world, sometimes they either talk too much or they don't talk enough. And so maybe when you're born with others and brothers and sisters, which I think is always a better option, that person's able to express his emotions better.
Many of the most famous comedians, politicians, and movie stars have attributed their present status to their youthful experiences. Some, when interviewed, had confessed that many times they had to cover up so they developed a sense of humor or leadership abilities. Do you think this kind of compensation panel makes us dig deeply to reach deeply? Do you have to go within to find yourself? Lisa?
In other words, do you have to conform with others?
Yeah, sometimes.
That can be a problem because when you conform to other people, you're in there with the rest of the crowd and you don't stand out. And then you're not individual. You have to be a nonconformist and go within yourself to make yourself stand out of that crowd.
How do you, as Madam President of whatever you do, how do you become Madam President of everything you do?
You have to take a lot of
I
consideration.
have to.
I must take a lot of consideration into the people that I lead. I was a class representative from 9th through 11th grade.
Yeah.
9th through 10th grade. And I was always concerned about the wants and needs of the people that I represented. So when I became senior class president, I continued that responsibility.
And you learn to really be caring of others.
That's right.
And that's what adds that popularity to you.
You have to look out to everyone.
Kim, do you ever smother yourself and your real true feelings about things, or do you let the people know who you are?
I basically let the people know who I am. See, I myself have had problems with like conforming. I admit that if maybe the crowd goes with this, maybe I'll tend to go with the crowd too.
Yeah.
But just lately, I figure, realize that, I could do what I want to do and be like just the same.
I'm finding for my lifestyle that as long as I take the road less traveled by, to quote Frost, is the road I want to be on. I always want to be on that road that's not as crowded as every other road. And somehow it always makes the difference to me in my life of the success that I go through, of the enjoyment that I have with all different kinds of things. I just don't conform. I don't conform in the classes that I teach. I don't conform in the kind of television program I'm deciding to do. I don't conform in a lot of different ways, and I really enjoy the fact that I'm always caring about young people, and I'm always caring about making things better. That's what is the guideline for me. Oh, I always, yeah,
because
really.
you did it on your own.
Right.
No one helped you.
Right. Why are some people always unpopular, would you say? What is a cause for unpopularity? Jeff, what would you think?
Tasha, I'd say it's probably a matter of caring, of trying to be overly put on an act or try too hard trying to impress people. And that even if you do make, I'll say, friend in that way, if you're not yourself, then they can't really be a friend, because I think a friend is just a mirror image of yourself. And if you're putting on a facade of yourself, what kind of friends do you have?
That's nice. A friend is a mirror image of yourself. You like that one, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Philosophical. That's your kind of stuff. Why do you think people are unpopular, some people?
I think it is completely with attitude. Lisa and I were talking about this right before. There are two extremes in attitude. You're either trying to be popular and trying to be liked, or you sit at home and you watch TV on Saturday nights and you say, no one likes me and I can't do anything because no one cares. You have to change your attitude and make the effort and go out and say, I love me and I'm going to love the other people around me.
And I'm going to allow love to come into my life.
Exactly.
Why are people unpopular, would you say, Danny?
Well, I agree with Jeff. It's because they try too hard to impress people. And they get caught up in worldly things of trying to impress them, like with their car or, their clothes, the way they dress or the way they act. And when it's not really what they feel, it's just they want people to like them.
Tell me what you feel about yourself that really feels very comfortable right now in terms of, and what's going to be with you for the rest of your life, Monica?
My attitude, always looking at the brighter side of things. Try not to get down on one little thing. Just
your glass is always going to be half full? Your glass is always going to be half full?
Exactly.
Okay. And Bianca, what's there about you that you really particularly enjoy?
I can be very understanding, and that's what I expect from my friends too. But my definition of popularity might be different from somebody else's.
Go ahead.
When I was in junior high school, it was how many friends you knew, et cetera, if they had something good to say about you. And now, if I have like a handful of friends that I could really talk to and relate to and respect, and that could, feel the same thing towards me, that is, I accomplished everything right there.
Exactly.
Anthony, where are you going to be in 10 years from now?
Well, definitely I'll have the same values, or they might have improved in a way. I'll have the same outlook towards life, and I won't let the society direct my attitudes. I'll let religion and my family and guidance create it. I won't adhere to the mob. And
Okay. Where are you going to be 10 years from now?
10 years from now, as far as you. Hopefully famous and popular. No, famous and well off, and just happy with basically myself.
Popularity doesn't appear to be a static commodity. It may come to us all at different times and for different reasons. Parents, teachers, and friends can help out. Here are a few tips for parents. 1, try not to label a kid as shy or backward. Those words stick. 2, don't put a kid under pressure around other adults. 3, involve the family with other families. Interaction is very important. 4, look at yourself as the social model for the child. How do you deal with other people? Try to change. Each of us is accountable for our own success, but a few smiles and encouragement can really help out those of us who are not in the right group, don't drive the right car, and don't make top grades. How about just a little encouragement along the way for your son or daughter? Panel, you've been wonderfully popular. Your comments and suggestions were really terrific. I appreciated them. For Teen Talk, this is Joe.